We have undefeated duelists, bro. Undefeated. What did you play? What's your name? Your matches were crazy. Top Cut story was even more crazy. So let's hear about it.
All right, so I'm Ezekiel, aka Trinity Wolf, for those of you who follow me also on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
We played Exodia, and the reason why I mainly wanted to play this deck was, like, obviously for those who follow me, I play heroes, and it's just not the format for it right now. And this deck just does not care about a lot of things that are happening right now. Certain hand traps that people are playing, floodgates that people are playing, like Molchamies, Shifter, like even deck lockdown. You just don't care.
Basically, the only hand trap that it cares about is like Ash and Impulse, right?
Yeah, Ash and Dominus Impulse. Yeah, that's like your main problems. But like other things that they have, like Veiler, are not going off because of like things like Shifter. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's actually really good into a lot of like non-engine in the middle. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw it performing, man. I really wanted it versus Sam on stream. I really wanted it on stream. Couldn't make it happen. But anyway, let's dive into it. Let's see it.
Absolutely. All right. So of course we're this way. We obviously play the Exodia. You have to play it because, you know, it's obviously the theme of the deck. You never want to see the pieces. The only time I would ever hope to see the pieces is if I'm going second and I've decided already and I have the Molchamies. Yeah. And then it's just like, do they really want to risk you drawing the 5 pieces of Exodia?
Give them to me. Give them to me.
It stinks, but like, you got to play crazy cards to do crazy things. And of course, you gotta obviously play triple.
Very good.
Heart of the Blue Eyes. Ever since this card's release, it was like immediately this is when I wanted to pick this deck up because it literally just searches Ankh, and people always forget about its sneaky effect to where if they summon a level 8 or higher monster or 3,000 or more attack, you can send that monster to grave and special summon this once per duel if you've successfully activated Ankh that duel.
Which is insane.
And then since you don't normal summon either, if you really just wanted bigger monsters for attack, you can literally just tribute your other 2 Millenniums and just normal summon Heart of Blue Eyes just for 3,000 more attack. But you gotta play 3 of that. Another 3 of Wakes from a Millennium. Searches any Millennium monster. Helps you get your Blue Eyes or just any other missing piece you need. Weird attack, 2750. You never know. It comes up. Absolutely phenomenal. The only other one you really need to just have low amounts of is Golem. The only thing that kind of stinks with Golem is like he gets you the field spell, but yes, he does protect Millennium Ankh from being, for its activation from being negated, but due to Dominus Impulse saying it negates the effect, it can't protect it, which kind of stinks. I really wish they would have worded it different to where it could protect activation and its effects, but yeah, that's just... And then the story behind the Millennium Shield.
Dude.
So, you gotta play 3 of this. This one...
Do you though? Do you?
I mean, maybe you might not. Maybe you might not need it, but so what happened is we're about to go into Top Cut, and then I somehow forgot to write this down on my deck list.
We deck checked before Top Cut.
Yes, and then I had to take it out. Fortunately enough, we still had 40 cards in our deck.
Dude.
But yeah.
I felt I was like, dude, we were sitting back there, I'm like, I really do not want to make this ruling because it literally just screws him. He literally cannot play. And they're like, I know, but like, it's like literally in the rulebook, we have to. And I'm like,
yeah, of course.
Dude, okay. And then you literally went on to...
And then funny enough, my games went by faster.
He said, I don't need this.
I don't need it.
Get it out of here.
But yeah, it is actually a really good card. 3,000 defense. It can't be destroyed by spells and traps. And it's just another way to get Ankh. So, heck, maybe you can just cut it down to 2. I mean, shoot. Maybe you might not need 3. And the MVP, Dimension Shifter.
Always.
Every deck I played against, they could not. They literally just passed their turn. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm going to summon an 8,000 body and you're just going to lose. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. A lot of decks can't handle this card right now. Even though it feels bad when you're playing against Tempide, sometimes they just can't kill you through Shifter. And because they know Shifter doesn't hurt you, they're going to side theirs out. But I decided to keep at least maybe 1 or 2 in just in case, because I know know sometimes they just cannot kill you completely depending on their hand with shifter. And
Tempai literally can't kill you through shifter if you just have like a body or two on them. Like,
right,
yeah,
and then if you're sitting on Exodia with a shifter, they're not getting through that thing, not at all. Especially if you have the board wipe too, they're not getting through it. But if you can play this card in your deck, you gotta play it. It's just it's a necessary evil. And then I only played 2 Ash. I just feel weird about the third, especially with like just Snake Eye stuff. I hate when I go Ash and then they just make the Hida and they take it. And I'm just like, oh, of course.
Yeah,
but it's a necessary card, you know. And I cut the one card that you can actually use to synchro this with, but I just didn't like it. It never ever came up. There's never a time where I actually ever need to summon this card to synchro summon. It's just not good. But
what was the synchro?
It's like the Cyphrane. It's like the
Omega?
No, it's like the one. It depends on your life points.
Oh, Psychic and Punisher.
Psychic and Punisher. Yeah, that one.
The other Exodia player was playing that, and like on stream, he attacked for like 14k in one. It was
it's like
he got debarriered, and he goes, okay.
I think it's just these. I think it's these two that make it by themselves. Yeah, it's just those two.
It's very situational. I understand it's not necessary at all, but it's just funny. Like when you make it, it's just like, what just happened to me, bro?
And also the greatest thing about playing Ash in this deck, you don't care about the Moltres at all. So you don't even have to waste an Ash on the Moltres. You're like, cool, I can actually just. That happened today where someone activated the Moltres. I'm like, sure.
Loop yourself for one.
Sure.
Brother.
No, they don't draw any.
Yeah.
The Moltres is the worst thing against this deck.
Loop your hand. Yeah.
And then on to spells, of course. 3 Millennium Monk. It's just great to see this card. I mean, it's not once per turn, so trying to get as many copies of it in your hand as possible. So, you know, when they use Dominus Impulse to negate the first one, you're like, okay. Second one, they're like, it's not once? No. Because why would it be once if you can't summon for the rest of the turn anyway?
So, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, it's an insane card, and it always shuffles itself back. I think even the ruling with it, even if it gets negated, it still goes back in the deck, which is absolutely crazy. But you gotta play 3 of this just because it's your main way to get the guy out. And then for field spells, like 2 Temple, the MVP, Secret Village of the Spellcasters, Terraforming, and Set Rotation. Anytime I got Secret Village out, even in the mirror match, it's just an auto win.
That's fair.
Like, so many people just like, the only thing I get worried about is like a witch, because she's a spellcaster, but then the minute she hits the board, I just blow her away with the trap. Yeah. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let you get it. But yeah, I like 2 as the ratio because it's so easy to get the field spells, especially the Golem searches this. So, and you can easily find a way to get to this with Terraforming. Set Rotation automatically gives it to you.
Yeah, it's really good. Secret Village is so
Secret Village is...
It's such a good card.
It's such a broken card. It shouldn't exist, but it does. And then, of course, this card is really good in this deck, too. I actually tried playing without this before. Like, the very first time I played this deck, I played 3 of it, went undefeated at my locals, took it out, and then I just kept going even. So I was like, definitely putting this back in the deck. And there's so many other Super Poly. There's new Super Poly targets now with the Azamina stuff coming out. And then the fact that they can't respond to this. And in the mirror match, this goes really, really well. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a piece if they have Secret Village, and then you just Super Poly it away in the Exodia, and then now they can't activate spells. And then one Obliterate Blaze, Instant Fusion, 1 Melody Awakening Dragon, and then 1 Pot of Prosperity. This is obviously just to search 2 Blue Eyes. You just discard a card, get 2 Blue Eyes. So now it's like, okay, I have a Heart of Blue Eyes this turn, and I have a Heart of Blue Eyes for next turn to get Ankh. It's just absolutely crazy. And for some reason, this card was just glued to my hand. Like,
it's a good thing.
It was just always there. I'm just like, great, because you don't even need like most of your extra deck at all. And Avant Traps, Triple Imperm, 2 Fires of Rage, and then 1 Angel Statue. Rage is like, they want to get rid of this so bad, and it's just like, and it's always it's necessary to play 2, because if you have one already, it's sometimes better to use Exodia to set the other one, because they're like, oh, I know where this card is, but then they waste something to get rid of it, and you're like, I have the other one. And then this is also your #1 way to get your Exodia pieces back in case you lose them in Banished or Graveyard, because if you lose an Exodia piece, it's almost over. The game is almost immediately over, and that's what really sucks. But this is like the only way to recover that card, and it lets you. even add an Exodia piece just in case you need an Exodia piece for like the temple, just to get things going. But that was it for the main deck. So
See that extra?
the extra, I'm actually only playing 2 because I wanted to make a lot of room for super poly targets, and then I still wanted lines just in case I could not get to him at all. It gets scary when I have to make the second one. I was like, okay, well if he's gone, then that's it. But a lot of it's crazy how people will literally pick up the card, read it, and then still try to do something to him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you really just read the card. You just read the first line. He can't be destroyed by card effects. Why'd you even try to pop it?
Why'd you write it?
Why'd you pop it? Like you just read it.
Dumb.
And then him being able to gain attack based on your life is crazy. So if, they go battle phase, swing at it. You're like, oh yeah, well he's 8,000 now. And then him being able to have a once per turn spell or trap negate. So if you actually end up getting multiple copies, you have 2 spell and trap negates, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
1 Millennium Eyes restrict. I like the fact that this is actually a Millennium card. So if there was ever a way in the future to like somehow not let this get destroyed by the instant fusion effect, you just get to keep this on the board even after you activate Ankh, because it's technically a Millennium monster. So it'll get to be. It actually came up like twice today where like I had shield, funny enough, and I needed this effect to go off, and I had this, and they go ogre, and I was like, yeah, I'll negate it and take it. And then as for super poly targets, Garura, Muddragon, these are like the only 2 that really came up today.
Yeah.
But we had like the Azamina ones. Just being able to play as many super poly targets is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
This is obviously for the U-Bell matchup, but I didn't manage to see any U-Bell today. Just being able to almost take their whole board, besides the Phantom, of course, but being able to take almost all their board away with that is absolutely insane. On to Lynx, MVP, Silhouette Rabbit. Really the only cards I summon in this deck are these 2. Like, that's really all you need to go into. Like,
Those are pretty good too.
It's very straightforward. Yeah, you get a negate for a summon. It can't be killed by battle, and just in case you can't get him on the field, the trap will let you help him pop a field spell, like the Tempai one, which is really a problem to deal with. And then kind of just for access code combo. The only reason I chose this one over the Dark is because I know guaranteed I'm going to have an Earth on my field.
That's fair.
The only time I'm going to have a Dark is if I get rid of my Exodia, and that just doesn't feel good. Sure, they're always probably going to have a Dark in theirs, but it actually came up in a mirror match where they had Earth, so I'm like, I'll take it, make
A lot of
this,
people are playing
make
like
that.
Fenrir and stuff too, so
Yeah, like it'd be fun. It would be fun to take a Fenrir from somebody. That would be absolutely hilarious. And you're like, oh, Fenrir, banish. Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Then you gotta always have access code just in case, because literally round 1 it came up in the mirror match. I had a mirror match round 1, and I couldn't get to Exodia at all. And then
access code.
I had to make access code to get rid of it. And then just for more Broad Breakers, Moon with Underworld, and then SP Little Knight.
Yep.
And then as for the side row, I'm honestly a very bad side decker.
It's the hardest part, man. I'm telling you.
But I'll just be straightforward with it. 3 Moltremy just because.
Yep.
3 basketballs.
3 basketballs.
The only reason I'm siding Forbidden Droplet is because I really just do not like the Mimigol matchup. But this is literally just destroys their deck because they literally give you their resources for free to break their board.
Also, it negate your other thing. I'll send it negate your other thing.
Yeah, and then it's better than Dark Ruler for this deck because you can still kill them with Exodia, and being able to negate stuff because you can just send everything else and then you just go Ankh, and then
it's insane.
And then the other 3 of evenly matched. Absolutely crazy. I needed this so much for the Rescue Ace matchup because
card's insane.
All those back row, they just can't stop it, and it's just a crazy board wipe card. And then just random one-offs that I just kind of decided on was just Tigaboo and then 2 Cosmic Cyclone, and that pretty much just wraps it up.
Oh man, your deck is sick. I was super excited to see you go undefeated, especially after the mishap, dude. It's so hype.
I was actually so heartbroken. I was like, oh god, what am I gonna do with
my
that
tournament's over?
And then my matches were faster. I was like, maybe I don't need this shield. Maybe I don't need the shield.
Well, man, do you have any shoutouts before we go?
Well, shoutouts to everybody from who came from TNLG. Shouts out to the shop for hosting this event. And then all my subscribers from Trinity Wolf, appreciate all y'all support, and well, thank y'all for having everybody here and doing this event.
His channel's linked in the description. Go check it out, and thank you for coming. We'll see you at the next one.